Most people think you're born with that talent. I think it's a skill, just like everything else. Because it's a lot of people that can blow, but wasn't born singing. They honestly was really bad at it, and they started taking it serious. Like, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. And from listening to people and trying to mimic and doing this, that, and the other, I was the type of person that taught myself roles, you know. So I think it's a couple people out there like me that actually just sat there and listened to people and was like, hey, I think I can do that. No matter what everybody else got to say about what I did, or whether it was wrong or right, I still did it. And I think with what I do, it's a certain level of confidence that you have to have. You know, with all artists, there's a certain level of confidence that you have to have. And I think that level of confidence is saying to yourself, I don't care whether they like it or not. I like it. You know, so regardless of what you got to say about my music, it don't matter to me. At the end of the day, I'm in love with what I put out. And when people see that it don't matter that you care, that you, oh, well, I think you should, thank you for your criticism. I really do take your criticism, that is duly noted. But this is me, and you can't change me. And once I see that everybody gets on that same page as an artist, music changes altogether. Because now everybody's trying to do something people like. I'm not with that. I'm here to, you don't give somebody advice that wants it. You give somebody advice that don't want it. That's when it matters. So that's how I take my music. That's an advice.
Yeah, all right, man. That's good advice. What do you feel has made you the most happy and productive artist on both your performance and your production side? Do you put them together? When you listen to another artist, do you take into account this is the way I would do it? Or do you dig, hey, they're doing it and I just want to help them do it?
Well, it depends on like how fresh this artist is and how long he's been in the game. Like, I look at things a different way, you know. I'm like smack dab in the middle, and I know that there's somebody better than me. There's this much length right here in my head that, hey, there's somebody better than me. I could always learn from somebody. And then there's this much length back here. It's like, hey, you can show somebody else something and help them out. But sometimes this and this is me. You know, I could learn something and I could show somebody else something at the same time. Now, if I could find an artist that's not big-headed and, you know, all about their self, and it's actually, I'm going to put 50 here and you put 50 here, make 100, I would love to find that artist. Because then I could get criticism from that artist and I could give that artist criticism and we could put out something that the world ain't never seen before. So I think that both on production side and the live music, if I could find somebody who was at the same, you know, who was on the same frequency that I was, that would be something the world would never see or has never seen before. Like, I think that's on a whole nother level. That's a whole nother frequency that this world ain't even in tune with yet.
Very cool. All right, well, in that vein, do you feel ahead of your time? Do you feel that the world will be ready by the time that everybody is looking your way?
I feel like I'm behind my time. My time, as I see it, my time was back in Al Green's day.
Oh, yeah.
My time was back in the Gap Band, back when music actually meant something to people, you know? Back when the DJs was turntabling because they had to feed their kids at home. You know, they was doing this stuff because they loved it and because they needed to make some money. You know, now I think this day and era right now, everybody's just doing it because it's a trend. and nobody's doing it because they love music. You know, it's not about the love of music, the love of hip hop. Speaking of, I just gotta say this. My brother Armani, he said it best. Hip hop is art. Rap is a beat. Most people want to be rappers. Nobody want to be hip hop artists. And back then, hip hop was everything. Most people don't know that R&B and all this came from gospel. A lot of people won't understand that. The church made all of this. The church made hip hop. The church made turntables. The church made live bands. Before you had a live band, you had a church. And you had the artists in the church doing what they did best for somebody they don't even see. You know? That was the love. You know, that's what my time era was. Back when everything was one genre. And that was gospel. I'm a neo. I like to categorize myself as a neo soul artist. That's in between. To me, that's in between R&B and soul. Soul and R&B both came from gospel, and that's where I grew up from, out of the church. A lot of artists came out of the church and nobody knew it. So I really do think that I'm before my time. Like, I think that my time was back in the day. You know.
Back in the day. All right. That day will be this Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 at Sid Rich, Lecture Hall 1. Everybody come out and see this young man. It's going to change the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It was gorgeous.
All right.
Step into you this way. See, I've been watching you for a while, and I just gotta let you know that I'm really feeling your style. But I had to know your name and leave you with my number, and I hope that you will call me someday. If you don't, you can give me yours too. And if you don't, then I ain't mad at you. We can still be cool.